Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Women's Council Wednesday, live with Collin County. I'm Shanna Viscar, Membership Director for our local network, and it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Carrie, our Programs Director.
Hello, Shannon.
Hi, guys. We may have other people popping in, but we will go ahead and get started. So I just wanted to everybody, I know it's been a couple weeks since we've had our podcast, but just wanted to remind everybody what Women's Council is about. We're a group. Our mission statement is we're leaders made here. Everything we do is to promote the purpose of being, to train leaders, facilitate, and help you take your real estate to the next level, whether you're a realtor, whether you're a strategic partner, and just grow in mentorship. Women's Council has taken me places that I never would have thought that this would be my path. But as we say, we just take a leap of faith and make things happen. And in that path is where I got to meet Lyndon last year and become familiar with his podcast, and was excited to go ahead and partner with him to bring Women's Council to the Difference Network, to the Difference audience. So, Ms. Carrie, I will let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, I am Carrie Dahlman. I'm a realtor in Collin County. I work mostly in McKinney, the whole Collin County area, but obviously as a realtor, you just pretty much work anywhere that anybody asks you to go. I joined the Women's Council back in March, and it's been so rewarding because I did accept a position on the leadership team as the programs director, and I've had a lot of fun. I've met some fantastic people, some empowering women. I got to meet Lyndon, it's been a complete pleasure to meet him as well. And I've been in real estate this is my third year, and I absolutely love it, except that there's not enough houses to sell. That's about the only thing I'm not liking about it at the moment. But I do love my job. It's not really a job. It's more of it's a lifestyle, actually, because that's about all you do these days. But I have learned so much about myself, about so many things since I've been here. So I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it.
Cool. Well, I see Miss Erica, our new president-elect, has joined us. So, Miss Erica, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about you?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Alvarez. I am the broker and owner of Vibrant Real Estate based out of Plano, Texas. I have been in real estate since 2002. I started out my career in new construction and became licensed in 2008. So it has been amazing. Love what I do each and every day. I have been with WCR off and on and jumped back in with both feet, and very excited to be a part of the WCR family once again. I am the president-elect for this year and excited to have the amazing team that I have working with me and looking to grow the team for next year.
Awesome. And then our next lady up is Miss JC, our new secretary. So, Miss JC, would you like to introduce and tell us more about yourself?
Yes, my name is JC Pitt. I'm an independent broker. I have my own business called Pitt Realty, and I've been a realtor for about 26 years. And I do both residential and commercial. And my daughter works with me from time to time. She's a new realtor. So that's about all there is to what I have going on. So thanks.
You got a little bit more going on with your family, girlfriend.
Yes. And I hope you don't hear them in the background, but yeah.
All right. Well, Miss Erica, I'm going to let you kind of explain some of the things that we're wanting to do with our podcast and coming up, especially with your expertise a little bit more in this sector than ours. So I will let you visit and explain.
Awesome. Well, really what we're looking to do here is podcasts are an extension of education for so many people in our industry. And really one of the things that I have learned, I've been doing podcasts off and on with different individuals for the last few years. And education is just one piece of it. The other piece of it is actually extending what we do, if that makes any sense. So a lot of times when you're educating individuals, it's an we do on the day-to-day basis. What we want to do with podcasts is to engage not just the real estate family, but also the consumer family by, we're an elite group of individuals that are leaders that are in your communities around the DFW. And we're here to assist you, as well as, hey, realtors, we are a group of leaders that would love to have additional leaders come forth and join our elite group of individuals. So I think we really have to think about this in a multifaceted way. Also, engaging different types of speakers really keep getting the interest up with what we do. So making sure that we're talking to not just industry professionals, but community activists and community individuals as well, because we are serving our communities every single day when we sell a house, right? So every time we put a new family into a home, we're serving our communities as well. So we want to talk to those community leaders, those community activists, whether it's someone that is running a shelter versus somebody that has a small business that we can support or talk to about the impact of real estate growth in their area. I've talked to dry cleaners who have been like, I have more customers now than I've had in 5 years, and I'm like, that's because of the influx of individuals that are coming here to DFW. Talking to corporate leaders, different varieties of individuals is really important when it comes to talking about podcasts. FW. And real estate is very multifaceted, as we all know. So there are different sides to it. JC's in commercial. I have a commercial team. I know there are several of us that have done commercial transactions, and serve in the commercial arena in different capacities. Right now, commercial is having a completely different shift than residential. They're never one and the same. And so a lot of people, that when residential is doing one thing, a lot of times commercial is doing the opposite, and most people don't understand that unless you're in the business somewhat. You don't really understand what I mean. But understanding, having those commercial individuals talk about the development and the growth that they can bring. Oftentimes that's work, that's employment. So that's additional residential sales that come with it. When Google made an announcement that they were going to build a campus in Mansfield, immediately the residential developers ran and grabbed as much land as they could around that campus, right? Yeah. So being on the pulse of the commercial is just as important as it is on the residential when we talk about what we do here at WCR.
Well, that's true. And Dallas does continue to be one of the fastest growing markets. That's one thing, as you see, and that's one thing that when I met Erica last year at one of our events, I'm like, wait a second, I know you. Where do I know you from? And she had done a podcast with Metrotex. She is part of the initial team that started the Metrotex commercial division. So, and the knowledge that she brought with The Economist, then interviewing some downtown Dallas individuals. So that's what we're kind of looking to do, bring the education. Yes, commercial is what drives the area. And commercial definitely is going to be interesting going forward, past all this craziness. But then too, as everybody knows, the residential aspect has just gone completely crazy. But with having trusted partners, we are here to guide and make sure that the community is representative. I will speak for myself personally. I am the community outreach for CCAR, and that was something that I got involved through another fellow women's council, a tap on the shoulder. So it's been a blessing to serve and to be involved in the community and then wait to pay it forward. Because as all the ladies will say, yes, we're selling, Plano, North Dallas, all of this Metroplex. But at the same time, we're part of the community making it better, whether we're, hosting one of our food drives for Minnie's Food Pantry, or building a ramp with Texas Ramp, who've built miles of ramp, and to pay it forward for a community. We want to be part of the conversation for realtors and partners, and we want to interview and highlight some of these local businesses that are making a difference in the local economy and how we can partner together to make this better for everyone going forward. And I will let Ms. Carrie talk to some of our events that we have coming up.
Thanks, Shannon. So one event that we have next or this month, it is July now. On the 20th, we're having a fair housing, affordable housing Zoom call, or so where you can join and you can find out what's going on in the industry, how affordable housing is changing in the Metroplex, and what you can do as a consumer, as a realtor, as anybody in this industry can do to help this affordable housing stay affordable for those in the Metroplex that are, trying to find a place to live. Some other events that we do, we just did a happy hour a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do a Pack the Bus for a school drive in August. We're going to have a fundraiser in October. We just have so many events coming up, and there's so much that you can participate in. There'll be another happy hour somewhere thrown in there, probably a couple more, because, in a couple of months, we're going to need more happy hours as we go along. Everybody can use a good happy hour. I know some days I'm just thinking, okay, where's the nearest happy hour?
So true.
We do have a lot of events coming up, and we have a lot that we're planning for next year. So it's a great time to get involved. And like Shannon was saying, in the community, in the industry, there's so much that you can do to get involved and help.
And that's one of the things too that we're looking to do. And one of the events that we'll speak to is, again, I said, with community outreach. CCAR, we're hosting an event next Saturday at Collin County Association of Realtors there at Legacy and Coy. And it's going to be Living with Zachary. So we're going to be doing screenings for young adults 12 to 22 in honor, just helping that next family that may not be able to afford this screening. It's a free screening. They can go to CCAR's website or online, or they can check our pages. But we're doing this in honor of our past president. We lost her in February, so we wanted just to pay it forward. And then partnering with this association, we also found out that another fellow realtor, she lost one of her children. So we just wanted to do things that can help another family that may not have had the resources to do that. But we wanted to do it in memory of Christy and pay it forward. And then also we're going to do a little Pack the Bus. So that's going to be next Saturday, the 17th at Collin County Association of Realtors. So if you have any questions, let us know. But the other cool thing is I'm going to let Miss Erica talk about it again. She's going to go to leadership. So I'll let her talk about kind of some of the vision of what she sees for her presidency next year and some of the things that she'd like to do. Miss Erica?
Thank you. So next year, I'm excited about the amazing team that's going to be moving into next year with me. First and foremost. Two, I really am excited about the opportunity of growth of our organization at WCR Collin County. We have so that are aware of our existence, but don't really know who we are and all of the things that we do. So really what I want to push next year is really going to be more of an engagement type of environment, in that I really want you not just to say, yay, hey, I'm a member of WCR Collin County, but hey, WCR Collin County did this for me. Whether it be your career, whether it be your education, I got a referral. I really want you to, when you are a member of WCR County, I really want you to tell me when I ask you, hey, in the year that you've been a member, what is it that you feel that you have taken away, or what have you learned from your membership? And so really, I'm seeking more engagement for next year, definitely more growth. We have amazing realtors that are in the Collin County area that I really would love to see a part of our group. And then, of course, we want to increase our leadership. So with that growth, I'm looking for future leaders to step into my role, Carrie's role, Jason's role, Shannon's role in the future as we grow. This is something that we are constantly having our eyes out for. And I really think it's important that not only do we have the engagement, but we also have the participation. So we are definitely looking for future leaders as well. So those are a couple of the things that are big on my agenda for next year. As for leadership, I will be attending our conference, which will be in Chicago, which happens to be my birthday weekend, which is kind of fun. My kids are like, when are you coming home? I'm like, well, it ends on my birthday. I'll be home on my birthday, the 20th. But I'll be there the 18th through the 20th in Chicago, one of my favorite cities. I have really good friends that live there. It's a great city. So I'm excited to go back to Chicago again and embrace. I've really went through and looked at the agenda. There's really a lot of stuff that's going to be going on in that short amount of time. But I look to bring a lot of that knowledge and with me to the team, so we can mastermind and go through some of the things that I learned. So I'm excited about attending Chicago in August. So those are just a couple of the things that I have on my agenda for next year.
Well, a couple of the other things that we have on our agenda here locally in Texas, in conjunction with Texas Association of Realtors, we will be doing Women's Council Texas will be hosting an event on September 8th called Power. And we're going to be down there. So that's going to be our first state event in a year and a half. So everybody's excited to get out of our Zoom boxes and see each other in person. So,
Let me out.
And the cool thing of it is we're going to have some national speakers, that have had expertise. They have their own show in real estate. And again, you'll be seeing that coming. And then in October, we get to go to the Woodlands, and our new team, we get to go, train, get empowerment for how we want to take Women's Council vision and implement it for next year in conjunction with Erica's vision and our vision going forward. As she said, we want to get the pulse of people, what they want to see, how we can help them, what topics do they want to know about. As Erica mentioned, the commercial development. Commercial may look completely different. And that's the cool thing, because Erica and JC have that knowledge there that they can bring and share with us. And our goal is to bring some of the players locally that can also speak to that and just share and educate our audience as well. So we have lots of cool things upcoming. And that's the great thing, is we wanted to let you know about Women's Council and just a couple of cool things. Membership's only $189 for the year, and that breaks down to less than 50 cents a day. And on average, Women's Council realtors earn more than your typical realtor. The also great thing is we have a sisterhood of people all over. So if you know someone, if Carrie's got a customer that's moving to Seattle, all she has to do is reach out to our network and refer that person to Seattle, and she knows a Women's Council realtor is going to take care of her client up in Seattle. So that's the great thing. But we also, we're more involved than a lot of the realtors, whether that be locally with Tree Pack, whether it be Texas Association, and then we have our own Sylvia Siebel that will be the national president for Women's Council next year, and she will be inducted in November when we go to San Diego. So we're excited about that as well. But that's just some of the things that Women's Council can do. There's opportunities in leadership, there's growth, there's education that's exclusive to Women's Council that you wouldn't possibly get. The events that we have coming up, the networking, and it's just a cool part to be part of this and to say, I started with Women's Council 2 years ago as a partner, and here it is 2 years later. I just got my license. I went ahead and jumped off that cliff. And I had a lot of people say, bless my heart, but it's the cool thing too. It's a great learning experience. And I kind of joke with people that I got my education kind of backwards. So last year when we shut down, I just sat in my chair and went to every Zoom I possibly could, from Florida to Ohio to California. And it was great to see the different networks and what each network strength did, or what they had rolling out, and just to kind of learn. So it was great to see an education from a practical, a live experience, and then just to go take my classes and pass. But that's the great thing. I've learned from, Erica, JC, Carrie. And the cool part is we're excited to all come together and bring this to you, and let us know what you want to hear, what you want to see, how we can make a difference in our community and just pay it forward in any which way we can. So, but I'm going to let the ladies wrap up and kind of tell them a little bit more about themselves and their goal for next year and their vision and how they're excited to be part of the podcast. Miss Carrie, you want to go?
Yes, sure. I am excited to be a part of the podcast. This is my first time to ever be in a podcast, so it's been a learning experience, and definitely I hope I get better at it. Maybe someday I can do my own podcast someday. But it's been great working with these ladies trying to get this together, and everybody's phenomenal. We're really excited about next year and keeping this podcast going so that we can contribute to your business as much as Women's Council contributes to ours, and giving back to our communities and making a difference.
Cool. Now, the other little tidbit, Miss Carrie, is I'll let her share. Her husband's an avid hockey player.
Yeah.
And so she has So, but I want you to share with everybody what you did over the weekend. I want you to tell them about that little game that you played over the weekend.
So, we went to, my sister had both of my boys neither one of my boys live here. So they came back, they came home with their wives, and my sister and her family got together. My mom was here. And so we played a bunch of games this weekend in her backyard. And we've never laughed so hard. We had one game where we had a course we had to go around, and we had a fly swatter and a ping pong ball. And let me tell you how hard it is to move a ping pong ball with a fly swatter. So at one point, I'm never really a big cheater at games, but I was so frustrated, so I just picked my ball up and threw it as far as I could. And then we had one game where we played where I had to hold a bowl on top of my head, and they threw these huge wet sponges at the bowl. And I'm 5'10", so bowl was way up there, and they're just smacking me all in the face with these.
That's
sponges.
awesome.
I'm so glad not much of it is on video. Really, I'm pretty glad about that. But it was a great weekend. It was a great family weekend, and I tried not to think too much about real estate and tried to join my family because I don't get to see them very often. So it was a good weekend.
Cool.
Nice.
I told her that might be some games that we have to practice at our next social to see our team building.
I think so. That sounds like something we might need to put on the agenda.
Yes.
Miss JC, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your family?
Sure. I have 3 adult kids, and then I have 1 5-year-old, and he's an avid hockey player. I saw Carrie's Facebook profile picture, so I'm sure we're going to run into each other sometime, someplace at a hockey rink. So yes, that's you. You hear him in the background. He says, "That's me." So when I'm not at my office or showing a house, that's where you can find me. Any of the area hockey rinks, and we have quite a few. So yeah. There is one thing I wanted to say about Women's Council is I didn't realize when Miss Shannon called me to rejoin last year, because I was out of it for a few years, how beneficial that was going to be for me. I've been to a lot of leadership Zooms that, like I think Carrie had said, and I think Shannon said, was all over the U.S. And so what I did get is, and I want to encourage you guys, which if you haven't, to please get on Radius and fill in all your information, because literally in February, I got a call from a WCR realtor in New Hampshire, and she found me on our site, and I told Shannon it was the best $189 I have ever spent, because last Friday I got my paycheck.
Nice.
For a $600,000 house.
Nice.
So I'm telling you, it is worth it. Because there's a lot of relocation, and she was so nice. When you talk to other WCR women, there's none of the nastiness and none of the competitiveness. You're working together to get that family moved here. And it was one of the most best transactions I've ever done. And my husband is a VP of operation for a home building company. Mom, he had the most perfect house for them. So we both, we both benefited from that. I'm so sorry. Anyway, it's huge to connect with other women, go to the events, and even like when Erica goes to Chicago, I know you're going to meet all kinds of new people, and she's probably going to get referrals from that. So San Diego, I hope that I can go. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I think Shannon's going, and so
I'll be there.
Yeah. So if you guys can go, like I said earlier, get as many cards as you can and connect with those ladies, because people now are not bound by a company anymore.
No.
And the couple that relocated here are both working from home, and they're working for industries that are all over the world, literally. So that's my take on it. So here's my future realtor.
There you go.
See him?
He sure is cute.
Mr. Hockey player. If he's not playing for the Dallas Stars, he'll be a realtor.
There you go. I like that.
Go ahead and plant those seeds, those affirmations.
That's right. He says he's going to take Dobie's place. He loves to play goalie.
Nice.
Well, my husband's not a goalie, but maybe he can help you, give you some lessons.
Hey.
Well, that's a cool thing. And as JC mentioned, I mean, she is just one of the realtors that got a referral from one of the others. I mean, we've heard stories from last year, people not making their numbers. And then all of a sudden they've got several referrals from their Women's Council sisters. And a lot of people, Women's Council is not competitive. We're just a sisterhood supporting one another, making sure we're growing and how can we grow. And just because we say Women's Council, we do have gentlemen. There are gentlemen that are involved in the local leadership positions and across Texas. And that's the beauty of it. We're looking for the diversity. We're looking for the diverse group to continue the conversation, because the event that we have coming up on the 20th, it's just a continuation of the affordable housing. Yes, we know the market right now is extremely crazy. And yes, it is affecting how housing will be. But we want to continue the conversation. We want to get involved with places like City Square, Habitat for Humanity or North Texas Food Bank. We want to be part of the solution of how we can make this work and how we can make this better. So, but I'm also going to let you, Miss Erica, close us out. And a nice little tidbit I'll go ahead and tell you about Miss Erica. Miss Erica's a foodie, and she loves its lunch. And she'll give you some tips on where to go. Miss Erica.
Yeah, that is a tidbit about me. I am a foodie, and I think my sister made it up. She called me a culinarian one day. I was like, "What is that?" Yeah, I mean, cooking is my forte. I am unafraid to cook any food. I mean, I have no fear of any kind of a market. So I know I've ran into people before who asked me, "Oh my gosh, you're not scared to go into an Asian market?" I'm like, you've missed out if you haven't shopped in an Asian market. That's all I have to say. Some of the best fish and also some of the freshest, you're getting it cut right there on the spot to your liking. So you're really kind of missing out if you're not exploring some of the ethnic markets in the Collin County area. We're so blessed in that we're so diverse here, and we have so many options, for the different ethnic markets. So I really enjoy that. And then of course, I love going back to what I call my favorite, which is I love my Central Markets and my Whole Foods and my Sprouts and those types of things. So but when it comes to certain types of cooking, I always think it's best to go and explore your local ethnic market, just because a lot of times the specialty stores will be 3 times higher, for one, and for two, if you like, no matter if you're into Middle Eastern cooking, if you're into, Asian, different types of Asian style cookings, or, if you like Southern barbecue or just general all-American fare, you'll find the different variety of spices and different things to really make it interesting at the different types of markets. So yeah, that cooking's my passion. I can talk about it forever. It's right up there neck and neck with real estate. I literally can talk real estate all day till I'm like blue in the face. And really kind of bore everybody here, probably like, she's still talking about property values, but those are my passions. And so when it comes to good food in Dallas, if you ever want to know, send me a message on Facebook. I'm happy to give you some direction. I have people all the time, hey, it's my sister's birthday. Where can we go with a private dining room? I pretty much have those places on lockdown too, off the top of my head, and all the specialty anniversary type restaurants. I can give you a long list of the small intimate ones to the bigger shops. We have some of the best chefs in the country located right here in Dallas. And so we get a varietal. COVID took away some of what I like to call some of the national well-known type chefs. They just weren't able to hang. But then you have amazing people like Salt Bae, who has some of the best cuts of meat in the world right here in Dallas. I could be here forever, guys, and bore you to death. But any type of food questions, let me know. I had one realtor reach out to me. This is a true story, and we're very good friends to this day. Several years ago, she reached out to me and she's like, I can't cook anything. I see your post on Facebook. She's like, God help me, And I was like, okay, where do you want to begin? And so I literally started her on this journey, and now she cooks every night. It's really interesting. She said, I never thought I could do this. And I said, it's just not that hard. It just takes a little bit of planning. And the funny part is that she has 5 kids. So they were just eating out a lot. Yeah. Or eating, she was the mom that brought home the 2 rotisserie chickens from Costco. You know what I mean? No disrespect to you moms who do that, because I do that sometimes. I'm that mom, so don't worry about it. But she was doing a lot of that because she just didn't know how to cook anything. So, but yeah, I helped her. So if you need some pointers, I'm happy to give you some really easy, basic stuff to basically put more money back in your pocket.
That is the one thing I think we've all realized in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
From not eating out to eating out, and then eating foods that you necessarily haven't eaten, and you're like, wow. So
yeah,
at the same time, that's the fun part, is to get back out. But I'm married to a foodie, so it was fun to see Erica and her passion for food, and definitely to try the debate on some of the new places that she definitely checked out and to see. So,
absolutely. And and it's also supporting your community, right?
Yes.
A lot of these are individual owners who are also feeding their families and paying their mortgages, right? Mm-hmm. So I love, every once in a while, I make it a point at least once a month to try to eat out. As much as I love to cook, we make it a point to eat out at least once a month at a minimum. We usually eat out about twice a month. But we pick a really good spot, and we try to support those local business owners who we've just grown to love over the years. And then we're trying out some of the new ones too. There's some really great, and also one of the things before we wrap up, one of the things I want to dispel is really good food doesn't have to be really expensive. And sometimes some of the best meals I've ever had right here in Dallas have been in very, very small places. And it's the simplest ingredients, the freshest ingredients that really make it what it is. So never think in your mind like, oh my God, I have to go spend $200 on this dinner. The answer to that is no. You really don't. You can go and spend $50 or $60 and have a really great meal with your spouse at a really nice local restaurant and really be surprised at the level of service and attention that you get at the same time.
Well, that's the beauty of the small businesses. And we've definitely seen that in the past year, everyone trying to support their local businesses because those are the mom and pop shops.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that Lyndon is passionate about, and one of the things I connected with, because if we all can support all local businesses in this way, we can just pay it forward. In this way, we just help everyone grow and get to the other side of this. But that's the beauty, is whether we're realtors, whether we're a affiliate partner or whatever, there's things that we can do to pay it forward. So I would like to thank the ladies for being here, and we'll see you again next Wednesday at 1. But don't forget, you can go to our Facebook page, WCR Collin County, and you can see the upcoming event we have on the 20th. And then you can also go to Collin County Association of Realtors and see the event for Living with Zachary next Wednesday. Any questions? Our information's below. And thank you guys so much. Have an awesome week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.